Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing another Swiss Cube. Got some good options here. Mana Vault's a pretty awesome ramp spell. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't looking right at the counter spell. I've found counter spells to just be insanely good in this format. Mostly because people play a lot of mana rocks like Mana Vault, and then they just want to resolve their, Inferno Titan or name any other 6, 7, 8 huge drop, which really makes these counterspells shine, in my opinion. So I'm pretty tempted to take the counterspell over the Mana Vault, even though Mana Vault leaves me more open and is very cheap ramp. Not much else worthy of mentioning here. Reanimate, good for the, Reanimator deck. But I think I'm going to first pick a counterspell over the Mana Vault, even though I like Mana Vault a lot. I like having a lot of counters more. Okay, Sword of Body and Mind, I can get on board with that. Augur Bolus is also good. Deranged Hermit is a nice card, especially if you manage to pick up opposition or something like along those lines. But yeah, Sword of Body and Mind is just really good. This one just mills them a ton. Pretty relevant protections in this format, green and blue, since green and blue is like the ramp deck that you primarily play against. So this just has protection from certain decks, which is really nice. So I think I'm going to take the sword, second pick. Let's see what else we got. Okay. Avenger is a big dude. Very nice finisher. Thirst for Knowledge is a great card. Possibly, well, see, the thing about Compulsive is you only have to discard a land card, but Thirst for Knowledge is instant speed, which is just really ridiculous. 3 mana, draw 3, instant. And I only have one artifact so far, but it's early enough. I think I'm just taking the Thirst. It's a great card. I don't know. I've just really liked these value blue decks. And I could still go into green. I can go into white. I can go into anything I want. The blue really just acts as a counterspell wall with card draw. Like, what more do you want? Get card advantage. Stop your relevant spells. That's really what blue to me does in this format. So, and what it does well in this format, I should say. Okay. Shadow Mage Infiltrator is actually a cool card advantage spell. Delver usually tables, so I'm not too worried about that one. Opposition might just be what I want because it's a really strong card. Tap down the fact that it lets you tap down their lands just is seemingly unfair, but we'll definitely take the opposition, which makes me want to play green for sure. Green has a lot of good token production, but white can also do it too. If I have like Spectral Possession or Lingering Souls, something like that. But yes, there's a lot of upside to opposition, so I'm going to take it. Could take the Raphellos, which ramps well. It's a very strong green card. There's a couple, we got a fetch land, which is also good. I think we just take Raphellos. A lot of upside to him. I mean, yes, I have to be pretty deep green to make him do anything. But if you're pretty deep green, he does a lot. Even if he's only ramping for like 2, he's still doing pretty good work for you. And there's nothing else here that's really catching my eye. So I think that's fine. Okay, we can take the Pilgrim. There is a Looter, which is actually pretty good. I like the Looter. But Pilgrim also ramps and is fine with opposition. I think we can take Pilgrim. It's not insanely good, but it's nice to have a 1-drop that goes into Sword on turn 2. That can be a really quick and progressive play. Yeah, nothing else really standing out to me. Pilgrim and Looter are the only 2 picks I'm I care about. I do like the looter actually quite a bit. But I'm going to take the ramper, I guess. I have no problem playing ramp if I have card advantage spells. That's really what it boils down to. This is pretty easy to play if you have good card advantage like Thirst for Knowledge. You can also take Compulsive here, and then I'm actually just straight up good on card advantage spells. Between Compulsive and Thirst, I'm not even concerned about a bunch of card draw after that. That's just straight up good. 2 3-drops that draw 3. It's a lot of card advantage. Otherwise, I could take Arbor Elf, and if I knew I was getting Tropical Island, this would be a phenomenal pick. But I think I'm just going to go Compulsive, get our card draw out of the way, focus on the interior of the deck. Oh, and then we are past the Forest Land. So this would have been able to be used or untapped by the Arbor Elf. But instead, we're just going to take it pretty happily here over the Terracodon, which is good. Terracodon also good with opposition. Kind of cool. Dungeon Geist is a fine card since it flies. It's not amazing, but it's nice to have a blue spell that locks down something. Against other green-blue rampy decks, I could see Dungeon Geist being insanely good, since you just lock down their fatty, and then blue-green typically does not have removal to do anything about that, so let's do it. Only picked up one counter spell so far, which isn't great, but it's early. All right, Yavimaya Coast, excellent pickup for us. Exactly the land we're looking for, especially since we're pretty color intensive already. I guess it's not exactly the land we're looking for since it does not work with Raphelos, but it does fix us, which is good. Sin Collector seems like it's going to be good against us. So I think I'll take that. The other cards are pretty good, but not insane. So I know I'm blue. I think I'm green. But I guess I could be... No, I think I'm green. I'm pretty sure I'm green. Delver did table, as expected. So far, it's okay. 3 cards that turn it on. I think Delver's a lot less attractive in a rampy deck, but I'll take it regardless, just in case I don't end up green for some reason. There's still a chance I don't end up green. I guess Life from the Loam is a card. Otherwise, Ranger Vios if I thought I was ending up in white. I don't know what I'm doing with Life from the Loam, to be honest. Dredges, I guess. Rootbound Crag will take in case I want to splash red. Burning Tree, not likely to play that one, but we'll put it in there on the sideboard. Okay, so blue-green start. I'd like to abuse opposition if possible. I'd like to find more counter spells. We found Time Vault, which I think I'm just going to take, mostly because we're in green-blue, so that means we have Cure's Follower. We also have Voltaic Key Chance, and we also have Tezzeret Chance. So there just turns out to be a bunch of things that interact with Time Vault. Not to mention Pester Might as a one-time extra turn use. Yeah, which is also insane. And also Deceiver Exarch untaps it as well. So I think it's a pretty easy Time Vault. And then we're building towards a good game plan there as well. I love Vendalion Click. One of my fave cards to have for in this cube. It's just messing. It's blue disruption is just ridiculous. Green Sun Zenith seems really good for digging up Raphelos or Pilgrim, but I think it's just an easy Time Vault. Go infinite turn. This is the first time I've gotten the Time Vault too, so. Alright, Frost Titan's a good finisher. Chrome Mox is okay, but since we're likely in green now, I'd probably just want Elves of Deep Shadow for some ramp. What's Pattern of Rebirth do? When something dies, you can search your library for a different creature. And, oh, it's pretty good. Not much else to mention. I think we'll just tape the ramp dude. I'm all about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything here I'm missing. Imperial Seal is pretty awesome for if you have Time Vault, because then you can find the other half that you're missing. If you have one in your hand, you know. If you have the untapped thing, you find the Time Vault. If you have the Time Vault, you find your untapped source. So these, like this Vampiric Tutor and Demonic Tutor, are pretty awesome with Time Vault combo. Or any combo, I should say, for that matter. I do like Frost Titan, too. That guy is good. But I'm going to take the Elves. I'm going to get some more creature ramp that works positively with opposition. Okay, Smokestack seems like a very good option. Academy Ruins allows us to get back our Time Vault if we lose it. Simic Signet might just be what I want since it fixes us and it ramps. And it's another thing to discard to Thirst for Knowledge in a pinch. And I think I'm cool with that. I like Thada Adele too. Beast Within is playable, but Beast Within's actually fine in a deck like this that probably just combos. Smokestack is actually good in a deck like this. It's got a lot of ramp. But I'm cool with taking the Signet. Fixes us color-wise as well as gives us an artifact for Thirst for Knowledge in case we need it. Thada Adele, Academy Ruins are my other two options, and I think I'd rather just take the Signet. Even though Signet could table too. Okay, Impulse is some more card draw. Sylvan Library is pretty nice. What are my shuffle effects, though? I don't think I have any. Yeah, if I had shuffle effects, I'd very much prefer the Sylvan Library, but I think we're just going to take the Hierarch, which fixes for our colors anyway. So it seems correct. And we don't have any big fat fatties that we've gotten into yet, but that's all right. Hopefully we find something for Time Vault, otherwise we just can't play it. But if we can't play it, it's not the end of the world. Phantasmal Image is a pretty useful spell for the most part. Copy your opponent's fatties, but I think we actually want the Mere Battlesphere because of how well it works with opposition. We get 5 bodies to tap down permanents with, which I think is worth it. I do like the image, like I said. Balance is a very strong spell. Nothing else really worthy of mentioning. Croson Grasp is nice. Split Second is pretty awesome. Let's just take the Battlesphere and be done with it. I like it. Windswept Heath finds Breeding Pool, so that seems good enough to me. I also like the Riftwind Cloudscape, but at this point, I think we're just taking some more fixing. Tundra, that'd be nice, but not exactly what I'm looking for. Tundra is actually findable with Windswept Heath if we already have a Breeding Pool, so that is an actual option. But that's probably, well, what am I passing for it, I guess? Palinchron, which is for combo, and there's really not that much that's playable for us otherwise. Ice, which I don't need. I'm going to take the Tundra. Like I said, all it does is make Windswept Heath be able to find us a blue source if we already have a Breeding Pool out. Which admittedly isn't that great, but it's good enough where I'm going to take it. Well, Ponder seems fine. Kiki Jiki is cool, but I don't have combo with it. Arid Mesa can find Tundra only. So that doesn't seem super useful. I think we just take the Ponder. Ponder's a good spell. I kind of doubt we're making Delver work. Thrun seems fine. It's a good card to have with swords, and you can ramp into it relatively fast. Mutavault we can take. I guess there's really not anything else I'm interested in. So we can take Mutavault. I guess it works with opposition, but it's a little roundabout way to do it. You have to turn this on and tap it. So not the greatest, but I'll take it anyway, just in case. Academy Ruins did table. So did Thada Adele, though. I can only turn 2 it off of a Hierarch, really, from what I see. Or I guess I could if I had a Breeding Pool or a Coast. Turn 1. What does Academy Ruins let me do? It lets me bring back a Battle Sphere or a Time Vault if they take care. I guess we'll take the Ruins in case I can make the combo work. So far, it looks like we aren't going to be able to, unfortunately. Could take the Hero Blade Hold. That's a really late Hero Blade Hold. How likely am I to play Old Man of the Sea? Not very likely. I'm going to take Hero. We actually have some decent white fixing. It's a hard card to splash, though, admittedly. Crossing Grip is very main deckable. We'll take that. Necropotence is going to be good for some sort of combo deck that wants it. Silverblade, all right. So we are getting cut on blue counterspells for sure because we've only seen one. But that's okay. Haven't found the Time Vault combo yet. If we can't play Time Vault, it's kind of a bummer, but I'll live. Strip Mine seems really good, but we got to take the Cure as follower because of Time Vault combo. Geez, and there's Force of Will in here too. You know what? I'm going to bank on Cure's follower tabling. I'm going to take the Force of Will here. If Cure's follower doesn't table, so be it. The reason I think it will is it really only works with Time Vault. No one would care about Cure's follower. Besides, I guess Kiki Jiki could play Cure's follower, but that deck is going deep. Green, blue, massive red. That's pretty deep. I think Cure's follower is going to table. This pack is pretty deep too. It's got like Strip Mine and Sundering Titan, all sorts of popular crap. But Force of Will is just insanely good. I love free counter spells, especially since we have the card advantage to support playing it for free. And I just love Force of Will, so I'm going to take it. And hopefully we table as planned, because I just don't think Force of Will is going to table, but I'm fairly confident that the other dude is. So I can take Shardless Agent, which actually goes into Time Vault, but it can potentially hit Counterspell, which is really the only spell that I think I would be worried about. I'm going to ditch Delver already. I'm just not interested in that. Muldrifter is pretty insanely good. It's more card draw. That's just good. It's an evasive creature. Nothing else really worthy of mentioning, I think. So Muldrifter versus Shardless Agent. I guess Shardless Agent's probably more likely to table, so let's just take the Muldrifter, which is 3-drop if I want it to be. All right, Repeal is very good. Misty Rainforest is very good. Ancient Tomb's not great for us. Repeal is kind of nice to have because I just don't have any other on-board disruption besides Crossing Grip. So playing Repeal would let me, bounce any permanent I need bounced. Treetop Village is very good. But I'm not like a beatdown plan, so it's not as good. Elvish Mystic is also very good. It's ramp. We don't have a ton of ramp either. We basically have 5 pieces of ramp, which isn't that much. I kind of like taking the Repeal. I can see the argument against it. Just taking the ramp. Especially with all this card draw. Yeah, I think we just need the ramp. We need to stick to the... I like the Misty too, but I actually just want more ramp spells in here. Alongside the opposition, it's right, and just feels correct. Polykranos is a nice dude. Garrick, some good card advantage. We don't have anything to cheat in with it that I'm super impressed with. Solemn is nice. Ramps, fixes, good value. Something to do with Thirst if I need to discard, I guess. Upheaval's good too. Upheaval, this might be an Upheaval deck. I feel like Upheaval decks are much more ramp intensive though. This doesn't quite have enough ramp to really be a solid Upheaval deck, but Upheaval is such a strong card in general that I think I'm okay with it here. You basically just ramp a bunch and then play Upheaval and replay a bunch of stuff to your opponent's empty board. It's, there's enough upside to it. I'm going to take it. All right. Oracle. More stuff that makes Upheaval better. Nature's Claim's fine, but yeah, we'll take Oracle for sure. I'm all about that. We can take the Chalice, also good with upheaval. Foothills finds Breeding Pool, which is cool. Search for Tomorrow ramps as well, but I think I'd rather do the Chalice because why? Because I can discard it, because I can double ramp with it, making upheaval better. Search fixes though, which is nice. I think I'm going to go Chalice. Gaia's Cradle seems good, although we don't have a lot of creatures, so maybe it's not that good. I mean, it's good with ramp creatures, but it's not good as your first land. I guess we're not really passing anything. Tarmogoyf's not that great in this format. It's okay. It's, you know, it's an efficient dude. It's not bad. It's just not exactly what I'm looking for. I'm going to take this Gaia's Cradle. Basalt Monolith is another good upheaval card. I could just audible into upheaval deck. Indrik Stomphowler is also a good card, but I think I'm going to do Basalt Monolith here. Alright. Looks like we did not table the card we needed for Time Bulb, so my mistake. I was almost positive that Cura's Follower would table. Really no reason for anybody to take it unless they have Time Bulb, so yes, I am surprised, very surprised, but didn't end up panning out, so that's okay. Genesis Wave, no, I don't really care about that. Serena Befreet's a beater. At Aether Vial, just basically cheats out 1-drops. I guess I'll take the Efficient Flyer. Shardless Agent did table. Not good on Chalice, not good on Counterspell. But it has 7 targets that are good. It's okay. Stunted Growth's not bad either. I guess I'll take Agent. Treetop Village. I can take it. Alright, so deck didn't pan out exactly the way I wanted it to, but it's not the end of the world. Our deck still got a good game plan, I think. Trying to think what I want to cut. I probably want to cut Shardless Agent, mostly because it's just not great. Like I said, if I hit a counterspell on it, it's pretty worthless. And most of the time it just hits a ramp creature, which isn't that important, I don't think. Guess we take Garrick. It's not that great either. Probably don't even want it. Just taking it, cause. Alright, well, not my finest draft. We do have some ramp. Got a sword. Are very blue intensive, which I don't like, but it's okay. I kind of feel like we need the Dungeon Geist, sadly, because we've got to be able to deal with creatures somehow. Nature's Claim is certainly fine. Molten Tail Massacre is a colorless way to deal with things, but I'm not sure. Gaddock Teague's not bad, I guess, but I'm going to take Nature's Claim, whatever. Neither of these cards matter. I guess we can take the Fixing, I guess. I don't know. Teetering Peaks. Alright, so we're like pseudo ramp with the upheaval combo for after we ramp a bunch. An upheaval combo just means I tap out, play upheaval, and then replace something. So I have a much more developed board than my opponent. But admittedly, this deck's not that great. I think the shortcomings of this deck are opposition's not that great because we only have 11 creatures, but I still got to play it because it works well with our ramp. It's like a way to lock down their fatties. Our ramp consists of 4 1-drops that ramp, Fellows 5, 6, 7, 8 ramp spells. You know, it's like the probably minimum amount you can do to have a fairly consistent ramp strategy. We just don't have a lot of win cons. I would have liked some more disruption. We only got Counterspell and Force of Will, which are two pretty good ones, but we got to be more green for Raphalos to be good. We didn't table the Green Sun Zenith either. So there's some shortcomings to this deck for sure. But for the most part, I think we're probably okay. I'm not going to play Gaia's Cradle. I don't think it's good enough for this deck. Opposition, actually, even if I just have a couple creatures, at least I can lock down their fatties. And then if I get Battlesphere, it's usually a land lock. So there is that. But yes, overall this deck's not insanely good, mostly because I banked on tabling a QR's follower, which did not occur with the Time Vault. I mean, at least we don't have to play against someone else doing Time Vault, but I definitely would have liked to have been able to make that work. I'm still very surprised, very, very surprised QR's follower did not table. I'm interested to see if it was just a hate pick or if they're just using it as a ramp. I guess, I mean, it's kind of like a mediocre ramp because you have to be green-blue. And I still can't figure out where else it's good besides with like Kiki Jiki, which is just ridiculous mana that you would need to make that work. Do I want to play Mutavault? Do I want to play Treetop Village? I'm not sure. I could probably get away with it. Something to do. If I play either of them on turn 1, I can't play my L. I still think I'm going to play him. I like having some man lands in this deck. This deck looks like it's in need of something more. Our card draw is pretty solid. Serenda Bebfreet's pretty much just in because he's an efficient beater. I kind of like the 3-power flyers in this format. Croson Grip I definitely want to use. Alright, I think I'm just going to run it like this. Not my finest deck. I think it can get some wins, but it's pretty much banking on upheaval and opposition to let us do anything. Other than that, we just don't have a lot of win cons. Sword of Body and Mind's kind of a win con. Thrun is pretty mediocre, to be honest, in this deck. It's good with a sword, but other than that, it's just like a regenerating blocker with hexproof. So yeah, our plan is to win with upheaval, ramp, or opposition, mere Battlesphere lock. And that's about it. That's about the extent of what we've got. So, oh yeah, a reason to not play Mutavault and Treetop Village would be for a fellow. So I guess that does make sense. Maybe we can't afford to play Treetop Village and Mutavault. Let's put in the breeding pool for sure. Let's get in our Coast, Windswept Heath, and we will be running the Tundra to also find with the Windswept Heath. Other than that, I don't think we need Academy Ruins to get back Battlesphere or our ramp stuff, so that's not necessary. I'd rather just focus on the green and then put an appropriate amount of blue in there. They want more blue than green. I disagree. I think I'd rather do this, which would be 11 sources of green and 9 sources of blue, which seems like enough to me. How many actual forests? Windswept Heath kind of counts as a forest, so 10. 10 is an appropriate amount to make Raphalos work well, I think. So we've got a couple counter spells, like I said, but overall, yeah, this deck's not that great. I've certainly run better. We didn't get any power, which is a bummer. So our deck is very fair and does not have any combos, but what can I say? I wanted that counterspell plan real bad. I really do think counterspells are just the best spells in this format are the counterspells. Much more so than the fatties or the ramp to get to your fatties. The counterspells for disruption are the best. Dungeon Geist in here. Yeah. All right. I guess I'm running it like this. I've had better. In the words of Jim Carrey in Liar Liar, I have had better. But we're going to try it. So we'll see you round one.